My name is Grace Miller, and 3 years ago I married my boss. Yes, the same man everyone feared, respected, and misunderstood. People said I married him for money. People said I was selfish. People said I trapped him, but no one knew the truth. I was 23 when I joined Carter Industries as a personal assistant. My father was sick. My younger brother was in college. My mother depended on me for everything. I needed this job more than anything. Daniel Carter, CEO, was known for his strictness. He never smiled. He never joked. And he trusted no one easily. The first day I met him, he walked into the office, looked at nothing but his files, and said, "Take notes." No greeting, no smile, nothing. I thought he was arrogant and cold. I was wrong. Months passed. I learned his routine. He worked 16 hours a day. He ate lunch alone. He never spoke about his family or past. One night, I stayed late finishing reports. The office was empty except for him. I brought him coffee. He looked surprised. "No one has ever done this for me," he said softly. For the first time, I saw loneliness in his eyes. He wasn't rude. He was just lonely. We became closer, not romantically, but with respect and trust. We spoke about dreams. We shared fears. We laughed about childhood memories. I discovered the soft man behind the cold exterior. He quietly helped poor employees, paid their bills, and never told anyone. Then one day I realized I loved him. I tried to ignore it. He was my boss, older than me, powerful, untouchable. But love doesn't ask for permission. One evening he said, "Grace, you should stay away. I can't make you happy." I looked at him, tears in my eyes. "I don't want anyone else. I want you." He was silent for a long time. Then he held my hand. That night, our story began. Rumors spread immediately. People whispered, "She trapped him for money. He's using her." Daniel heard everything but remained quiet. One night he said, "Grace, if you marry me, no one will respect you." I said, "I don't care about respect. I care about you." A year later, we married quietly. No media, no big wedding. Just promises whispered with tears in our eyes. But life after marriage was not simple. Daniel became even more distant. He worked late, ate alone, and barely spoke at home. I began to feel like a stranger in my own marriage. One night I asked, "Do you regret marrying me?" He looked at me, sadness in his eyes. "Grace, I can't give you a normal life. I can't have children." My heart stopped. But I held his hands and whispered, "I married you, not your children." That night he cried like a child, and for the first time I saw him vulnerable. Life tested us again. One of his trusted business partners betrayed him, stealing millions. Media blamed Daniel. Employees panicked. He stopped sleeping. He almost collapsed under the pressure. I stayed by him. I helped with accounts, meetings, and court cases. I protected him from gossip and criticism. Months passed. The truth was revealed. The partner was his own cousin who wanted the company for himself. Daniel was heartbroken. Court battles, financial stress, and betrayal almost broke him. One night, exhausted and sitting in silence, he said, "Grace, maybe I was never strong enough." I took his hand. "You're strong, but you don't have to be strong alone anymore." We fought together. We cried together. We healed together. Finally, the company slowly recovered. Justice was served. Daniel smiled again, but something had changed inside him. He started coming home early. He cooked dinner with me. He laughed with me. He lived for us, not just the company. And then life surprised us again. At a charity event, I saw a little girl, shy and scared, holding onto my sleeve. She looked at me and said softly, "Ami, don't leave me." Her name was Emily. We decided to adopt her. Daniel cried for the first time in public holding her. Our home filled with laughter, toys, and hope. Years passed. Daniel became a successful businessman again. But at home he was just a husband and a father. One night, sitting on the balcony, he whispered, "Grace, you didn't marry your boss. You saved a lonely man." I smiled. "And you didn't hire an assistant. You gave a girl a family." Love is not about status. It's not about money. It's about standing together when the world walks away. I married my boss. And I found my best friend, my partner, my family, my forever. And if life gave me another chance, I would marry him again. And if life gave me another chance, I would marry him again, because loving him taught me what patience means. It taught me that real love is quiet, gentle, and strong. There were days when we argued, days when work stress followed him home, days when I cried alone in the kitchen. But every night, he came back, held my hand, and said, "I'm still learning how to be a better husband." And I would smile and reply, "And I'm still learning how to be stronger with you." Emily grew up laughing between us. She called him Baba with so much love that his eyes filled with tears every time. He helped her with homework. He read her bedtime stories. He sat beside her school stage performances like the proudest father alive. Sometimes I would watch them from the door and thank God for giving us a second chance at happiness. One winter night, Emily asked him, "Baba, were you always this happy?" He looked at me and smiled softly. "No. Happiness came when your mama walked into my office with a cup of coffee." We laughed, but tears filled my eyes. Years later, when my father passed away, Daniel stood beside me the whole night. He held my mother like his own mother. He paid for my brother's studies quietly. He didn't just become my husband, he became my home. People who once judged us now asked for our advice. Employees who feared him now respected him with love, because they saw the kindness he always hid. One evening, I found him sitting alone in the office, just like the first day I met him. I asked softly, "What are you thinking about?" He said, "I'm thinking about how one brave girl changed my life forever." I smiled and said, "No, two lonely people saved each other." We grew older together. Wrinkles came, hair turned gray, but his love stayed the same. Every anniversary, he still writes me a small letter. Every letter ends with the same words, "Thank you for choosing me when the world didn't." And every time I read it, I fall in love with him all over again. Because real love isn't perfect. It isn't easy. It isn't loud. Real love is choosing the same person, again and again, every single day. I married my boss, but in truth, I married a kind heart, a broken soul, and a beautiful future. And if life asked me once more, in every lifetime, in every world, I would still choose him, even if the world misunderstood us again, even if life tested us 1,000 more times, because love is not about an easy journey. It is about holding hands when the road becomes difficult. If I go back to that first day, to that silent office, to that cold voice saying, "Take notes," I would still smile, I would still stay, and I would still fall in love with the lonely man behind the powerful name, because he was never just my boss. He was my lesson, my strength, my home. And in every lifetime, I would still choose him. Because some love stories are not written in fairy tales. They are written in sacrifices, in quiet understanding, in tears no one else sees. He was never perfect, and neither was I. But we chose each other, again and again. Through failures, through fear, through the days we almost gave up. Love is not about finding someone strong. It is about becoming strong together. When he doubted himself, I believed in him. When I felt weak, he stood beside me. That is what made us unbreakable. Not money, not status, not power, just two imperfect hearts, refusing to let go. And maybe that's the real meaning of forever. Not a promise of happiness every day, but a promise to stay every day. So if life begins again somewhere, in another office, in another city, in another time, I will still walk toward him, and I will still choose him. Because loving him was never easy. But it was always worth it. We learned that true love grows in silence, not in noise. Every scar we carried became a reason to hold tighter. He gave me courage when I had none left. I gave him hope when his world felt empty. Together we turned pain into strength. Together we turned loneliness into home. Our story was not perfect, but it was real. And real love never fades with time. So in every lifetime, I will still find him and choose him again. Because he was not just my love. He was my peace. In his silence, I found my safest place. In my smile, he found his lost happiness. We healed wounds we never showed the world. We built dreams from broken pieces. Every morning with him felt like a new beginning. Every night with him felt like home. Time tested us, but love protected us. Life tried to break us, but we held on tighter. And no matter what comes next, we will face it together, because his love taught me patience. My love taught him how to smile again. We were strangers once. Now we are each other's world. His hand in mine made every fear smaller. My faith in him made every storm weaker. We didn't win every battle, but we never lost each other. Our love grew stronger in the hardest nights. Our hearts stayed loyal in the darkest days. He became my forever promise, and I became his forever home.